Everybody, welcome to the Flames TV post-game show, and Calgary is enjoying a 3-2 overtime victory. Corey Sarich is here, as is assistant coach Cale MacLean. Cale, let's start with you. Let's get right into this one. A bit of a slow start for your team tonight, but then in the third period they kind of came alive. What changed in that last frame?
Well, I think obviously getting on the board was something that, just sort of changed the energy in the rink. But we really struggled for two periods to establish much. Our execution was way off, and it seemed like we were really chasing the game. But credit to Blake Coleman, who's been doing that for us all year. But to find a way to score a goal, and then Martin Pospisil followed that up with a great play to set up Kadri. And all of a sudden, you could feel the building turn and the team turn, and things got better from there.
Yeah, the power play tonight had its opportunities as well. We were just mentioning it. It was going into overtime, it was 0 for 4. It was maybe a little disjointed as well. You mentioned the rest of the game not quite clicking. And then to see that puck go in overtime, just a sense of relief for the guys there on the bench, or what's the overall feeling for the team after getting that immense win in that way with that overtime winner?
Well, I think there was some relief, because it feels like a game you need to win. We're back at home. We know when you return from a trip it can be tough, but at the same time we're not in a position where we have the luxury of giving away any points, and that was a winnable game. But we weren't able to find the sort of synergy to find the lead, but we stuck with it. And I think that there was a sense of relief that the power play came through for us, and the idea that we were able to stay with the game. Although it was not a Picasso by any stretch of the imagination, we found a way to get a win.
There were a couple different guys tonight that had, huge moments. You mentioned Blake Yeager. We had him on the desk earlier today talking about his hat trick last week. He scores a huge one tonight, just has the confidence to step in there and take that shot. What can you say about him and what he's brought to this team this year?
Well, since he's found his scoring touch, he's been instrumental for us for plays like that, like the skill plays, whether it's the shootout goal or it's the one-on-one play. Actually, in Arizona a few games ago, a play like this tonight where he just takes it himself and finds that short side shelf, which is a pretty elite shot, and he's been able to contribute in that sense where he makes the play that a lot of guys in the league can't make. And he's added a lot of goals for us, so he's been a big factor for us for sure. And that was a huge 2 points for us, so it was a great play by him to finish it off.
There was a little spark there in the third period. The physicality definitely ramped up. Blake Coleman was run over out there once. Martin Pospisil started throwing his body around a little bit too, and then we saw him and Connor Zary out on the PP together in overtime. Is that something you guys discuss as coaches? Is it a reward for what's going on? Is that a feel thing when you're putting those pairings together in overtime?
When it comes to those pairings, it starts to become a little bit of feel. Like you've got the Backlund Lindholm pairing. You usually have Huberdeau involved in the mix, and you always have Kadri involved in the mix. And then at different times, we've had some other pairs that have gone, but I think tonight was just a night where Ryan Huska recognized that Martin Pospisil was having a night. Like he was really he had good energy. He was involved, as you said, he was involved physically, and it was a bit of a reward for that play. And he did a good job out there, and it's something that is good to see for the young guys, the Zaris and the Pospisils, to get a little more experience in those situations.
And there were a few little learning and teaching moments out there. Cooley snuck in behind, and
yeah,
again,
definitely.
To Dan Vladar's credit, he stood pretty strong tonight as well. Nice performance by him.
Yeah, we can't forget about Dan, because
right.
Especially in overtime, there was a couple looks where we had breakdowns, and he came up huge for us. So he deserves as much credit as anyone else for this win, for sure.
So now you've put together your first 4-game winning streak of the year. You've sort of set the tone for the rest of this homestand. How do you approach the next couple of games? You have some tough teams coming in here.
Yeah, some tough teams, and I think it's fair to say that these next couple of games are going to be easy games to get up for in terms of the tradition and the rivalry of everything involved. So we have to take it one at a time here and make sure that we're ready game plan wise for Toronto. We're ready to execute, and obviously I think that execution is really instrumental because it's that much offense against these next two opponents. We got to make sure that we don't give them anything for free. So if we prepare to win the playoff type of games coming up here, then we're going to be in good shape. And I don't see any shortage of motivation for the guys and the fans coming into this one on Thursday and Saturday.
Last one for you, just about the fourth line. What are you seeing from that fourth line, and what do you want to see more of? I know it's been changing, right? There's
It's ever changing, I
Yeah.
think. But I think that it's a great example of a night like tonight where the energy with our team and the way the game's going isn't ideal, and so any kind of spark you can get is going to help you, and that's where a fourth line can come in with a little bit of. With just pucks that get behind defensemen, a little bit of noise on the forecheck, some sustained ozone pressure, but that all just really adds that positive energy. Is a little bit of physicality and positive energy, and that's where our fourth line has been solid. But at the same time, this is a great night where they can really make an impact and get pucks in deep. The traditional hockey saying, but really put a lot of heat on the Arizona defensemen because that's where we really need to lean on that team.
Right. Okay, we will let you go after that. Cale, thank you
All right.
so much for your
My
insight.
pleasure.
Congrats
Thanks.
on the win.
Appreciate it.
All right.